A massive fire outbreak in Wuse 2, Abuja has destroyed buildings and goods worth billions of naira in a Monday evening incident. The incident reportedly started from a welding outfit located close to the story building housing the Samsung headquarters at BANEX Junction. The fire service, in response to the distress call, arrived to scene only to be disrupted by onlookers, leading to a police intervention before rescue operations began. According to the fire service, the delay caused the fire to intensify and spread throughout the building. However, efforts were made to contain the blaze from spreading to nearby structures and the filling station in the area. It took the firefighters over 6 hours to extinguish the flames, and both the Federal Fire Service and FCT Fire Service maintained one station each on standby until daybreak.
They are just coming, just now, after how many, everything has already burnt off. They are just coming. Look at them. They are just coming. See? And people are angry. People are angry. They are running. People don't pursue them. People don't pursue them. No need of coming. No need. If you know how many people that lost their job today.
Now joining us and now via Zoom, we have Assistant Controller, Federal Fire Service, Abraham Paul. Thank you for joining us, Abraham. Now briefly take us through the events of last night at BANEX Junction and what you have learned so far.
Happened yesterday up until this morning at BANEX Junction, that's the Samsung showroom in Wuse 2. From indication, it's suggestive of the fact that the fire incident started at 19:00 hours, that's about 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And but we got the distress call about 7:30. We immediately deployed our men from the Wuse station, which is in Zone 3. So by 7:38, they were in the vicinity. But unfortunately, hoodlums and miscreants, under the guise of late coming, would not allow us to carry out our function. What they intended actually was to go in there and maybe loot some of those electronics and all of that. We had to now call up the Civil Defense Corps and then the Nigerian police to give us backup. We had very strong information that if we go in there, they were going to attack us. So we needed that backup. Once we had the backup, we swung into action. Unfortunately, it was already a full-blown inferno, but we couldn't have risk our machine to hoodlums and miscreants. So we needed to make sure that safety was first for us, the priority, as always. And so once we moved in, we tried to confine the fire to a particular building where it started from. The essence is that just beside the Samsung showroom, the sharing fence with eternal oil, that's a filling station, and then on the other side is an incomplete building. Behind them is a hotel, 3-star hotel as the case may be. We needed to make sure we confined the fire to, that space, and that we did. Further information we now got was that within the building was seated 8,000 liters of diesel, which we also had to ensure that did not explode. So it was a lot of work. We started at about 7:50 and up until 3 a.m. this morning before we were able to take out all the embers.
Exactly, Abraham, talking about the hours that it took for you to contain this fire, apart from the fact that you mentioned that you needed to get at least more support, but situations like this usually happen in the country and it's not as quick, for the firefighters to fight this challenge within or get rid of this particular situation. So what took you about 6 hours in order to contain this fire?
My sister, It was a full-blown inferno. Everything in that complex is fuel, waiting to burn. Everything, from piece of papers to design to nylon to electronics to gadgets to wires to refrigerators to gas, just name it. The whole building was laden with fuel, and so extinguishment wasn't going to come easy. I'll tell you on good authority, I was there in person. I arrived there about 8:40, and I was there up until 3 a.m. As long as I became the incident commander, considering that I became the most senior fire officer on ground. So I was coordinating both the FCT fire service and the federal fire service. We had tons of machines coming in. We had machines coming from Wuse, coming from the FCT. 2 of the machines came. We had machines coming from Gariki. We had like 4 water tenders, ensuring that we get adequate water to continue confining. And the essence is we are trying to also make sure that it doesn't escalate. So we have to confine it. And remember, I told you that we have 8,000 liters, over 8,000 liters of diesel in a tank waiting to ignite. So we have to, while we are cooling down and ensuring that that is tempered, it doesn't get hot, it doesn't explode, we are also making sure that the fire does not go. And we're also making sure we are also keeping the embers in the original building down. So everything in that building, like I said,
but
just waiting to
quickly,
explode,
how can we, take care of this situation? How can we make sure situations like this never happen again? Because there is always should I say, not certainty of fire outbreak, happening in other businesses, and business owners tend to miss out on a lot of money there. So how can the government and we as a people, help you in bettering your service?
Well, thank you for that question. This morning at about 8:00 hour, the Controller General, Engineer Jaji Abdugani Olola, was on site. He wanted to see the incident himself, considering the volume of economic hardship that they will put on Nigerians, on those working, and of course on the enterprise. And he stated it very clearly, which I'm going to reiterate. So in simple terms, this is Engineer Jaji's words. Fire prevention is always cheaper, it's always easier, and it's than firefighting. So at every instance, we're working to ensure that we have minimal fire incidents. And where they happen, we have to now do our best to ensure that this is fulfilled. But for the question that you have asked, simply put, first aid firefighting, and then the training for on-hand responders cannot be overemphasized. The Honorable Minister, Dr. Olubumi, has said it very clearly. If we have public buildings and we have security men within that building, they should be trained, and we are available to train them so that they can be first responders. So rather than everybody running helter-skelter, some people should be man enough to say, where is the seat of fire? Go and attack it. But if we are all running helter-skelter, because we don't have adequate training, because we don't have understanding of what to do when fire happens, this story will keep retelling it. So simply put, if I have to summarize,
thank you so much for your time, Abraham Paul, Assistant Controller, the Federal Service, Fire Service. Thank you so much for joining us.